We want to talk to Paul Coyte now about how the whole Ukrainian situation and the invasion is impacting on sport. FIFA and UEFA, Paul, have come out with big rulings, and I would have thought the only bad thing about what they've decided is it took them so long.
Yeah, I agree. It should have been done in 4 minutes, not 4 days. We talked about it yesterday, and I assumed that would be announced. But the thing is, I just feel I can nitpick about it, but I just think it was done for almost like the wrong reasons. It was done because the pressure got great because they had no choice. It's all very well saying, oh yeah, well, we'll let the Russian teams play in the Euros or in the qualifier for the World Cup under a different name, with no flag and with national anthem.
Nonsense.
It is nonsense, and it's all because the link that they've had with Putin in the past, but now they've had no choice and they've had to ban them from it.
Including this massive sponsorship of the Champions League by Gazprom, the energy company from Russia.
Tens of millions of pounds.
Yeah.
So you see, there's only a certain amount of sponsors that the Champions League have. And you see that around the grounds. They're the only people that are allowed to advertise around the Champions League. Gazprom, huge. So we're talking tens of millions. So they've been excluded as well. But what is interesting is that we saw the Court of Arbitration for Sport get involved with Valieva only about a week or so ago.
That's the ice skater.
The Russians have a lot of form. So if anything happens when it comes to the Russians not being happy with or excluded for sport, they will go to them. And I'm pretty sure that within the next couple of days, they'll go to the Court of Arbitration for Sport and say, on what grounds have we been excluded? Because is there any law that says that if there's a war involved, that we have to be excluded from competition? So if that happens, and then they rule and then say, well, OK, well, under those grounds, legally, you can compete. Then does every other country then step away and say, well, we won't play?
They must.
They will.
And then by default, they say, well, there we are. The World Cup belongs to you because nobody else is going to play. It's never going to come to that, but it will get legal. I'm certain about that.
And it extends beyond football. We're seeing, we're talking about the Olympics there, but we've got the Winter Paralympics coming up. We've got the tennis players saying they won't play unless Russians say they're neutral. It's going right across the board. And that has to be a good thing. But I also wonder if there's a question about whether or not this means sport will be viewed in a different way going forward, because there's been years of people urging sportsmen to take this approach, in Saudi Arabia or Qatar, wherever it might be. Is this changing the role of sport? I don't know.
Again, as we said yesterday, it's a lovely idea to be able to separate sport from politics. Yeah. But these days, it is impossible. It's absolutely impossible. You don't really want to hear tennis players that are saying, well, it's nothing to do with me, so I'm going to go ahead and play. We would prefer, personally, to hear a tennis player, especially a Russian tennis player, actually talk about this and say how bad it is. It's like the Paralympics as well. With the Paralympics, there's a decision that's going to be made tomorrow, because that's happening in Beijing with the Winter Paralympic Games. What do they do about Russia? They've gone over there and they've got to make a decision, but there's no ruling, again, that includes war. There's something called an Olympic truce, which they can say that Russia have violated the Olympic truce, which involves war. But it's a very tricky thing, but really, it should be across the board.
Stan Collymore writing in the Mirror today, he talks about football needs a moral code and a robust body to enforce it. He's absolutely right. There may still be repercussions for Chelsea on all of this, but I just want to get back to European football and the UEFA League. Just bring me, because I'm just not sure in this. If Russian clubs are out, that means Spartak, Moscow are out. What happens? They were in the draw. Yeah. I don't know who drew them.
Well, the thing is, what happens to them, I'm not sure exactly where they're out. So whether it just means a bye...
You just go through
I
the bye.
assume so.
Who got them? Was it Rangers? No.
You know what? When it comes to Spartak Moscow, I don't know. I don't know. But this has been announced.
It should be a bye.
But the thing is, we're also looking at the difference between teams and then individual sports, because then we've got F1, we've got tennis. Does that mean individuals will be not allowed to compete? Although we've got Elena Svitolina has said that she's playing in Monterrey. She's down to play Anastasia Potapova, who's Russian, but she will not play unless it's announced that that Potapova will play not under the Russian flag, will be a neutral athlete. She is then happy to play against her if she's a neutral athlete. I don't know. Individual sports, I understand. It's different. Sports, when it comes to teams and national teams, then I don't think there's any question that they should be involved.
OK, folks, want to know what you think about that. Tweet us on GB News if you've got a strong feeling. But basically, the national team of Russia, no matter what it's called, no matter what name it goes under, it is out. It is banned from world football. UEFA says so. FIFA says so on that. Gazprom, which you'll see popping up on your television station as the sponsor of the Champions League, that is no longer happening. Yeah. And they are the Russian gas company, and that Champions League deal has been cancelled. Paul, thanks very much indeed. Thank you.